Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got one of those guy questions for you today. So if you're interested in guy questions, you can check out my whole playlist on guy questions, on attracting women, becoming a better man. And this definitely falls into that category. So I got a bit of a story, a bit of an email, and some questions from a guy named Zach. I'm not going to give his last name so we can keep him anonymous, but I thought he sent something interesting that I'd like to respond to. And it's not even a crying, whiny type of email. I get a lot of those kind of "my heart is broken, this girl doesn't care about me" type of emails, and this is not one of them. So I'm going to read you this. It's a little bit long, but it's pretty interesting. So Zach says, "Hey John, I listen to you a lot on YouTube. I could use your advice on a girl that I like." Who couldn't? All right. "I was fired from my job in March, and I took 6 months off to figure out what to do with my life. Last month, I decided to visit a buddy in Utah and go hiking in Zion National Park before I had to get a job." Okay, so then he says, "2 nights before I was leaving for Utah, I got a call from his cousin, college girl, who wanted to ride along and come hiking as well. I had met her once before 3 years ago and thought she was pretty cool. Cute girl, awesome personality." Awesome person. No, just kidding. All right. He didn't say anything like that. So we talked on the phone and I said she could ride with me. Minnesota to Utah is about a 20-hour car ride. So we spent roughly 40 hours in the car together, and we all hiked about 25 miles through Zion, spending 5 days in the wilderness. So I'm trying to figure out here. He said, so he went with the cousin. Let me see. Visit a buddy in Utah and go hiking. Okay, so I think I'm guessing that this guy, his cousin, lived in in Minnesota and wanted to go with him. So that's probably what happened. Okay, so that makes a little bit of sense. So she went back to her hometown. I was trying to figure out if he was alone with the girl or not for all this time, and it looks like no. So although we spent 10 days in Utah and came back right before college started in late August, I'm going to a technical college for a desktop programming certificate, and she is her senior year for a bachelor's of nursing. Long story short, I've developed feelings for this girl. I haven't genuinely liked the girl like this since my ex-girlfriend 6 years ago, so this is confusing. I haven't dated in 6 years. I'm not a player. I don't understand women. Good. Honesty is good. All right. I am 27 and she is 22, so there is an age gap. Not really. And I'm good friends with 2 of her cousins. That could be a problem. We have been back in Minnesota for a month and hung out 3 or 4 times. On one hand, it seems like she likes me, text messages, invites to hang out. On the other hand, I can't tell if she cares. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to get to this. I know what you guys are thinking, some of you guys. Okay. Last night we hung out and she told me that something that I told her on the road trip was right. Guys and girls can't be friends. I agree. That's true. All right. One of her, quote, guy friends had recently bought her earrings and she wasn't thrilled. Okay. So some guy friend, he's a friend, and then all of a sudden he buys her earrings because he actually likes her. She's not too happy about that. She's telling this other guy about this. This is kind of interesting. Okay. So I smirked and told her that I only bothered to hang out with her because I liked her. Good move. Yes, at least you did that. All right. This was a test. This was a moment of truth here. If you didn't say that, you were done. You were just done. All right. She told me that she used to like me a lot 3 years ago and left it at that. Now, I'll tell you why she said the word used to in a minute here. We're going to get to that. Understand that she was recently dumped by her boyfriend of 3 years. I can't wrap my head around this. I know that my sexual market value, SMV, someone's been reading, The Rational Male. You can check out that book. It's a good book. Is low right now. I work part-time at UPS, tuition reimbursement, and I don't have my own place. Right now I'm trading wood chips with my SMV. I'm trading wood chips. Okay. Her SMV is fairly high. She's cute, she's fit, doesn't watch TV, doesn't have social media. She's focused on living in the now, in capitals. She loves hiking, adventuring, and conducting reconnaissance. I'm not sure about the conducting reconnaissance. That's kind of interesting. It's hard as hell to find a millennial girl like this. That could be a song. It's hard to, as maybe a lyric in a song. It's hard as hell to find a millennial girl like this. I don't know. Something. I don't watch TV. I don't have social media. I am focused on living in the now, also in capitals. And I love hiking and conducting reconnaissance. It's good. You guys can be spies together. We both have these rare things in common, which is awesome. These are the best photos I could come up with. So he sent me some photos. They're both, decent, good-looking people. If I would say so, I would say that they are both good-looking people. Good-looking gentleman, good-looking lady there. Okay? So, where to go with this and what to say about this? So what should he do? What's going on here? There's a few things, I think. I mean, the fact that this girl had a crush on him is good. It's good. I'm going to talk to you, Zach, actually. It's easier to talk to you. All right. So, Zach, here's the thing. The fact that she had a crush on you, that's good. That means that she obviously liked you at some point. Now, the fact that she said that she used to have a crush on you so much, I'm going to guess, I have some observations on here and some guesses here. Here's the thing. I just got to back up a little bit and tell you this. When you're the guy in the relationship, and believe me, because I've been here before, I've screwed this one up before, and I know there's a lot of gentlemen on this channel, subscribers that have screwed this up. It's very easy to screw this up, which is, it has to do again with that friend zone type of thing here, which is this, is that when you are with a lady, okay, and you're like, and again, I've talked about this, I think in this video on separating your psychology, right? If we can find the video where I said that you've got this one side of you that is the sex side, right? And then you've got this other side of you that's the good, cuddly, looking for a good woman, put her on a pedestal type of side. And the sex, porn, right? Looking for a prostitute type of mindset is here, right? And then the, oh, beautiful and pure, I couldn't even think those impure thoughts about this wonderful lady that I'm going to put on a pedestal is here. And when those things are separated in your mind, what ends up happening is that you're not really bringing to the table the kind of attributes that a female would like, the true masculinity, a man that takes charge, says what he wants, gets what he wants, isn't afraid of his own sexuality, right? That's the kind of the merging. That's how things are supposed to be. And we end up having this splintered psychology for a lot of different reasons. I'm not going to go into the details here. But where I'm getting at is that when you're a guy, okay, and like I said, I have screwed this up before, so I can tell you from experience, back in my younger years. But when you're a guy and you are with a lady, okay, and you do not put the moves on her after some period of time, you start to look like maybe you're inadequate, that you don't have the attributes that she was seeking, right? That you're not that kind of man, right? She loses attraction for you. She starts to think that you're maybe a pussy, okay? I mean, to put it pretty bluntly. So, and like I said, I'm saying this several times so you can understand that I've done this before. I have been in situations before, back in my past, where there was a girl that obviously was into me, was chasing me, we'd gone on a couple of dates, and being the respectful gentleman that I was, right? At least in my mind, okay? At that time, all right, when before I awakened somewhat and realized about my own masculinity. But, at that time, trying to be the gentleman, I was very respectful of, I'm not gonna push it forward, right? Again, I had probably this splinter in my mind as well. I said, I'm not gonna push this forward. I'm not gonna put my arm around her. I'm not gonna try and give her a kiss. It'll just come in time. This is a pure, beautiful relationship. We're gonna be, doing this for years, right? And it didn't take long before this lady pretty much lost interest in me, right? This girl said, yeah, this guy's kind of, I thought he was really this suave, cool guy, but it turned out for whatever reason, he's a chump. Like, you know what I mean? This happens in a girl's mind. So why am I telling you this? And I know some of you are like, what? Yes, trust me, this is very true. If you ask a girl, well, I don't know if you ask a girl, but they'll probably actually tell you the truth on this, that if they're going out on a date with a guy, and he's not expressing a sexual interest at all, if he's not putting any moves on her, she's gonna think he's a chump. She's gonna think he's a pussy. She's gonna wonder if he's gay. Right? She's gonna like not be attracted, because the whole thing, one of the things that is attractive to women is that they're desired by men, right? So one of the attraction switches for women is to be desired, and for men to like pursue her, right? Not just not in the fairy tale kind of like friend sense, right? And so you don't want to come across as the cuddly bear. I'm the guy that's non-threatening. Don't worry about me. I'm just a friend. I'm just here for you. You got to come across as, I'm a man. I want you as a woman. You see what I'm saying? You have to come across that way, right? And there's lots of ways that you come across that way. But if you're coming across as a totally docile, harmless little bunny, then you're going to be treated, you're going to go right into that friend zone. So here's where things get complicated in your situation, Zach. So a lot of time has passed. This is why I was wondering when I was reading this email, were you alone with her for all this time? Now that I'm thinking about it, okay, you spent about 40 hours in the car together alone. That's a long time, okay? And that's a really long time. That's a pretty decent amount of time. I mean, you should have expressed some interest there. Like, I mean, stuff should have happened, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to, like, I don't know how to put this correctly, but if there's a girl that I like, we're spending 20 hours in the car together, shit's gonna go down. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to sound like, I'm just saying, like, that's how you gotta be, like, really? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise, you might as well count it out. So again, regardless of if you have an R-rated mind like me or not, the point is this, is that you've got to make some kind of move. That's enough time frame, right? And if you don't, then you're going to fall more and more into that zone. So, 20 hours pass, whatever, you're driving the car. Now, obviously, you can't be like, it is kind of a confined situation. So, it's excusable, right? I mean, but you should be indicating some kind of interest, right? Some kind of non-platonic interest in this car ride. And maybe you hadn't made your mind up yet. And maybe she hadn't made her mind up yet or whatever. That's fine. So, I mean, we can excuse all that. But I will tell you that if she's wanting to go in a car ride alone with you for 20 hours, proximity is usually a pretty good indicator of interest. So she probably was interested in you then. She came out and told you that she had a crush later. So, okay, so, so let's talk about the issue now. So you came back home, okay, and now you're still hanging out with this girl. Now she just told you the story. She said that you're right, because you must have said in the car, it sounds like that guys and girls can't be friends, which was a good move, because you're indicating right there, hey, we're not friends, right? We can't be friends, but we're hanging out. So what are we doing, right? So that's good. But if she told you this, right, and then she is upset that some guy that she thought was her friend now wants to get some nookie, right? That's what he bought her, some earrings. Then what is she trying to convey to you? What is the message she's trying to convey to you, right? This is an interesting question. I think this is my guess, is that she's saying shit or get off the pot. That's what she's saying in my mind, is like, are you fucking putting the moves on me or not, right? And you responded, you said, I like you. Right? And then she said that she had a crush on you. So at this point, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. You got to up the aggression to a pretty high level, and you got to go for it, right? You got to say, okay, you got to start making some more physical type of moves, right? And you got to make this more of a date. You see what I'm saying? You're not just friends hanging out. You got to make this very, very clear. You got to play the game. You got to indicate that you have other things in your life besides just her, and you go for it. And this is where you have to step, because you're in a very, very dangerous zone right now. Because you're very close to being like permanently in the friend zone, right? Because she's going to make this decision about you. She's going to think you're a docile, harmless little bunny. Then she's not going to be attracted to you. She's going to lose physical attraction. That process has probably already started. By the time that you've hung out with her 3 to 4 times after you've come back, right, and you've made this decision, if you haven't put a move on her in that period of time, then it's gonna start that process, right? I mean, she must really have liked you a lot for her to be sticking around at this point, right? Or she may have already discounted you. The other possibility of this message is that she's already said, you know what, I used to like you a lot, but I realize that you're kind of a pussy, and so you're friend zoned forever, but we should hang out. But I'm giving you this as a warning. Remember, this last guy that was in my friend zone, he tried to get out of it and he bought me some earrings, and fuck that guy. I don't like that shit. That pisses me off. So don't you dare try and do that shit again. You just stay the cuddly teddy bear, and you just be the cuddly teddy bear, and I'm gonna go somewhere else for my my sexual satisfaction. You see what I'm saying? So that could be already happening, but by putting the moves, you've got no risk. You might as well go for it, right? Because you already espouse your philosophy, which I agree with, is that girls and guys just really can't be friends. Just doesn't work that way. So you might as well take the risk, you might as well take the shot. But I'm telling you, whatever you do now, Zach, at this point, you got to be pretty forward and pretty aggressive on this, because you have to overcome this. You basically have to play it off like this, right? You have to make it seem, and it needs to be true to some degree, that the reason why you were hesitant before, why you didn't put the moves before, was that you weren't sure. You hadn't made your mind up, right? But now you've decided you like this girl, you're going for her, and you're going to be that aggressive man that actually desires her, that isn't afraid of the sexuality, and is able to show it, right? So again, I'll summarize it too by just saying this, that this is sort of one of those things, like, for you guys out there, if you're on a date with the girl, right? I mean, it's excusable to not put any kind of move, like, really on the first date, but you should still be indicating some kind of interest or some desire for her, that you're not just buddies and friends, right? It should be different than going and hanging out, you know, with your buddies, all right? But by the second date, there's got to be some physicality. You've got to be at least putting an arm, you got to be trying to kiss or some kind of thing. Otherwise, you're pretty much done. You're pretty much done 90% of the cases there. And if by the third date you haven't put any kind of move, you're done. You just forget it. You're in the friend zone forever, and that's just how it is, right? So 90% of the time, okay? So you got to remember this and think about this and realize that this is why, you know, because I get a lot of emails like this, and it's like, you could have a girl that is actually very interested in you and that wants something more from you, but if you are not the man, if you are afraid of your own sexuality, if you're afraid to express it, if you've got that division in your mind, like I said, between the platonic and the sexualized, then you are going to botch that, because you don't want to appear as the cuddly teddy bear friend. Because once that mindset is developed about you, it's very, very hard, if not impossible, to break. That's what the friend zone is. So, you know, Zach is bordering that. Maybe he's there. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I hope that helps you, Zach. And this was kind of a long video, but I think it's a good example of what I'm talking about here, and I hope this helps you. All right, if you have a question for me, you can always email me at john@simpleprogrammer.com, and I'll listen to you cry. And you can, of course, hit the subscribe button to subscribe to these videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.